Welcome to Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and Kenan Memorial Stadium, home of the North Carolina Tar Heels. And basketball may be in the blood, but football is certainly in the soul. There's just something about the nightcap. After a day of wall-to-wall football, it just seems this is when chaos ensues. As we'll see a squad from the SEC, the Washington Huskies, taking on the 16th ranked team in the land, the North Carolina Tar Heels. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. The Tar Heels about to kick it away and get this season started. He'll start the return inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. The Huskies offense will start this game off. Sometimes you sense that what the kids call swagger is a false bravado. This dude is nothing but real at wide receiver.
He's got that speed, and you see DBs, they're probably watching him come on the field right now, and they understand it's going to be a long game. This guy can go get it. He can run. He can do a little bit of everything at the wide receiver spot.
That's a really good-looking run, too. And when you think back to Washington football, we talk a lot about the quarterbacks they've had, these great aerial assaults, but they've always needed to have balance as well. You get that by running the football, and this guy really helps keep defenses honest because they don't know what's coming at them. With a weapon like him in the backfield, he really makes this offense go.
These two conferences largely share the same geographic footprint. The ACC loves it when they can take down a team from the SEC.
And we see these two conferences play each other oftentimes early in the season, late in the season. David, think about Clemson, South Carolina, Florida, Florida State. These players have a lot of familiarity with one another.
And this already matters so much to these kids because they grew up in the same area a lot of times, like Reese was talking about with the footprint. But how about in the past, too? When your undefeated league champion gets left out of the playoff for an SEC team, a little more fuel for the fire.
Washington coming to the line with another first down. From the gun, he leaves it with the back. Good pickup on that play. It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
Got 6 on first down. Now a lot of options on 2nd and 4. He's looking to throw. He's got it down the middle. And he was loose and in the open field and on his way. A tremendous pickup on that one.
And a big key on that throw to the slot receiver, guys, is putting the ball out in front. The location of the throw is what helped that guy get extra yards after the catch.
They've moved to the 16. It's 1st and 10. They'll throw it from the red zone. Grabbed in the middle. It's Jones. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play in prime position for a score.
Nice quick throw there. It's so important for quarterbacks to be able to find the rhythm and to be comfortable and confident. You want to just get the ball out quickly, make it an accurate and easy throw. And you can tell that these two guys, they rep that play in practice all the time, and it's now showing up here on game.
You know, you start day 1 of training camp running your base runs. You need a few yards, you run these plays. You need a first down, you run these plays. You rep them over and over and over again. They're not sexy, they're not pretty, but in the end, they're effective, and they get you that new set of downs when you need them.
He steps and powers and works his way. They finally get him down at the 2. 2nd and goal for the offense. He'll run it to the right, looking for the goal line. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Well, you obviously want to get your receivers the football down here in the red zone, but it's tough to throw it to him because the windows are so small. So I like the idea, handing it off to that guy and seeing if he can do something with the speed.
And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Huskies. They strike first, and that opening drive of the season could not have gone better.
The offense goes as he goes, so really no surprise on the opening drive. They keep feeding him the football. He showed you all of his ability on that TD.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The Tar Heels offense headed onto the field. Our first look at them today. As we take a look at our impact players for this game, David, what do you look for to make an impact from your leaders?
Your leaders not only have to lead the football team, but they got to step up and make plays on the field, keep everybody calm. These guys typically do a really good job of it.
Yeah, David, and they also generally set the tone for their respective football teams. Regardless of which side of the ball they play on, the teammates look towards them to step up in big games like this.
They'll give it to the back. Finds his way ahead for 3 out to the 16.
You know, runs like this oftentimes are like a boxer in a boxing match. Obviously, it's not a knockout punch, but these are body blows. And as the game goes on, these small gains are going to turn into longer runs.
They're bringing heat. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down. And the Tar Heels will try to pin them back with the punt. Makes a move. Not able to pop the big return, but they've got the ball back and ready to go with a fresh possession. And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. Jesse looking to take it down the field for back-to-back touchdowns.
I think it's really important for them moving forward, too, to have a lot of bounce, right? You want to be able to keep this defense guessing, Bob.
Yeah, and you got me searching for answers after that last drive. You stack another drive on top of this, their defense's heads are going to be spinning all over the place.
And now on 2nd down for this offense. Wide receiver now comes in motion. Quick pass on the jet motion. They'll wrestle him down just short of the 1st down. I don't even think they're going to bring out the chains to measure this one.
Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. You're trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside, and David, it puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over. That's why offenses love to run it. It makes the defense communicate and see if you can just get him out of the spot.
They'll immediately call timeout. The defense trying to get a stop on 3rd down from the 44. Tries to slither forward on the sneak. The Huskies getting set on 1st and 10. They'll move the running back to try to force the defense to adjust. Makes a pass to Marker. That is exactly what you're looking for when you talk explosive plays. The defense finally able to make the stop.
You got to feel good for this kid, too. He worked so hard this past offseason to put himself in position to be the starting running back, and he's got a lot of skill, guys. He's got speed, open field running ability. I think he's going to be a big part of the offense this season.
Looking to move it through the air. Fires to the right. Holds it in. Touchdown, Huskies! Hauled it in and just kept right on running to the hallelujah land.
And this offense is firing on all cylinders right now. Starting the year, game 1, and creating a little bit of a pad and separation at the end of this first half. But you can see why so many people are really excited about this offense this season.
On the run from inside his own 5. Good job by the coverage unit to stop the return man. North Carolina has it back, and the Tar Heels so pleased to send the offense back out. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
He's brought down, but not before they pick up the big 1st down. He wants to throw. Didn't have much of a choice there, but to get rid of it. They'll line up for a 2nd down play. Give to the back. Got behind those pads and picked up 3 after the 35. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. Referee signals timeout. It's the defense wanting to make sure that they have everything just right with a big play coming. They'll be able to get off one more play before quarter's end. On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down. The Tar Heels decide to punt it away. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Pulls it in at the 25. They'll wrap him up and bring him down, and that's how we'll wrap up the first quarter. That's the end of the quarter, and Washington has the lead. Really strong performance so far to be able to build a lead here in the first period as we look at the stats. Now to see if they can answer this early blitz here in the second quarter. First down to start the drive after the break. Trying to start the drive with a pass. That's reeled in. It's Cano.
And quarterback receiver on the same page. Nice job seeing the zone, understanding the drag route concept. Easy pitch, easy catch.
Now here on second down, see if they keep tossing it around. He's looking to throw. Get it out on the screen. And the defense able to drag him down, but not before. They'll recycle that down marker.
And a great job by the QB, finding the running back, get him the football where he can do some damage after the catch, and most importantly, get the first down.
It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. He's going to pass. Working that left side now. Really confident throw and catch there. Big pickup, and they have a first down. Part of the DNA of the Washington offense has been a guy who can get it done with his arm.
And just finding a guy that makes everybody around you better. They can make the right decisions. They can highlight your skill positions. That's what get the Washington fans going crazy, going nuts. And that's when they have those great football teams.
And the freshman will chalk up a sack.
You want to change some of this bad luck you've had so far around? Get after the quarterback and get his butt on the ground. Nice job by the defense. This game ain't over. It's still the first half. This is a good start.
After the big first down sack for the D, it's second down. He's looking to throw. Fires to the middle. Got him downfield. This defense giving up ground as he's finally knocked down at the 26.
Well, after that last play, you can see how electrifying this guy is and how special he is after he makes the catch. If I'm on offense, I'm trying to find a lot of ways to get him touches in this game.
They're setting up the screen. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
And you got to be careful on offense when you're dialing up the screens. You want to do them on obvious passing situations. When you're anticipating the D-ends really racing up the field, they didn't have it set up that time.
Makes the grab down the middle. There to make the tackle, but the big throw.
Complete.
To give them a first down.
This defense has got to be better in coverage. You want to get off the field, you got to keep defending. You got to do something to make the offense feel uncomfortable. So far, way too easy for this offense.
And the Huskies with the 1st and 10. And he runs through one tackle and picks up a few.
Listen, defense is about energy. It's about passion. It's about physicality. They need a little bit more of that. Get the guy in the ground. You can't let guys break tackles. What could have been set up in a long yardage situation, now it becomes an easier situation because you couldn't get him on the ground.
And he'll finish the run in the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. They'll try to add another to their lead. Follow the blockers. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and, slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The North Carolina offense returns to the field. They're down by 21 points, but you get a touchdown here, and you do at least apply a little game pressure, Jesse.
It's true. I think for them to get back in this one at this point now, they need the quarterback to play his best football. He's going to have to be good really pre-snap, David, making sure they're in the right looks, and he's got to be really good with his decision.
He's got to be dialed in because defensively you're giving up points. So it's not like you have the luxury of the defense playing great. The offense is going to have to score and score pretty dang quickly.
They're looking to get the edge with this one on the toss. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. And the Tar Heels want to crank the tempo. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires into traffic, intercepted. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
And that's got to feel good, and that's a play this young man is never going to forget. His first interception of the season. Great job reading the QB's eyes and getting to the football.
The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute them.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he sprints to the end zone. Touchdown, Huskies.
And how about this offense? Man, they must have used fall camp perfectly. Coming out, firing on all cylinders, smooth, in a rhythm. Great start to the year by this offense.
28, North Carolina, 0.
On the move from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. North Carolina has it back, and the Tar Heels so pleased to send the offense back out. After that last pick, David, they really need to take care of the ball this time.
No doubt. And Palmer, I want to know what Spurrier said to you on the sideline after a pick.
Do that again, and you'll be right here beside me for the rest of the game. You got to go out. You got to call your plays. And I hope this coaching staff isn't going to be afraid to throw it this round.
Picks his way ahead, pick up a 3, and gets it to the 20-yard line. 2nd down here, and maybe they've got time to get one more snap off before the 2-minute warning. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry. We've made our way to the 2-minute warning, and now they'll try to at least cut a little something off of this lead before the break. This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. Handoff from the shotgun. On the move at the 30. And he surges up to the 36-yard line, and they'll move the chain. Offense, quick tempo. After run, now throw. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
This offense just has to find a way to find a rhythm here. They're playing at home, and they want this crowd to stay involved and be an asset in the game, but they need to start making plays. They can't keep throwing incompletions this early.
Throws to the tight end. He's got an open man. He found plenty of room, and he gets it to the 39-yard line. Well, they've done nothing on offense so far, but if they can put some points on the board before halftime, it could really change things.
No doubt. Going to the locker room with some good juice.
Strong pass rush gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46. The Tar Heels headed quickly to the line. On 2nd down, he's looking downfield. Picked off. Takes it the other way. He is finally out of bounds, but he was smelling that end zone on that return.
It's all about making plays, and this guy's been waiting to make his mark on this team. He gets his first interception of the season, and what a momentum-changing play for his team.
And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. Can't make the catch. It's incomplete, and that drop might have cost him a big play on first down.
What a hit by the defender. That's a good throw, and that was going to be caught, but how about the defender dislodging the football from its intended target? Nice job.
And back to the air on second down. Snagged in the middle, it's Cano. Really nice job there by both guys to throw and the catch to work that defense and get the first down.
QBs, when you see zone coverage, man, can you manipulate defense when you have a good pocket and you've got time to throw. He had a little bit of time to throw. You can move guys with your eyes. That drag comes wide open. Good throw, good catch, first down.
Well, the quarterback knew he wanted to go to his tight end on that play. He's a big physical target, but it was the hit on the play that forced the incompletion.
After misfiring, it's second down. Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. Motion from the offense. Looking to throw on second down. He gets rid of it, but I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. Nope, here comes the flag. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. And now this offense will try to figure out a way to move the chains after that second down incompletion. Trying to get to him. And they knocked him down almost immediately.
Well, we knew coming into this game, this defense had some matchups they felt really good about up front, and they won one right there, getting to the quarterback, creating a negative play, and they're going to need these guys to start winning more of those because they are finding themselves in a hole here early in the game.
The ball hits at the 5, and it'll go into the end zone for a touchback. The North Carolina offense returns to the field. So late in the half, this is really an opportunity, David, maybe to swing the momentum in their favor.
Dang right. There's no time to be conservative. We're a little bit down. Listen, I just think this is a point with the offense that they can prove. Like, we're here, we're going to create something now that we can build on in the second half.
Coach said all week he wanted to be aggressive. This is a great opportunity to show that right now. At the end of the first half, try and generate some momentum, score some points before going into halftime.
Wants to throw on first down. Lets it fly. It's caught. There's a timeout called as this offense tries to find a way to draw a little closer. They've got it 1st and 10 at the 50. Let's go. He's looking to throw it. Floats it out in space. And they're going to lose yardage there. The defense completely owning the front. Bunch formation trying to confuse the secondary. He's looking to throw. Makes the catch. It's Gore. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. Pressure coming. And he just throws it away. That is not what you're looking for on 3rd down. 4th down coming up. And the Tar Heels send out the punt unit. And that is textbook instructional video. Out of bounds right around the goal line. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update.
Gentlemen, a magnificent broadcast so far there today in Chapel Hill. And we've got to start our halftime breakdown with this superstar running back. His elusiveness, his raw power, This young man is the total package, and his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield is a differentiator. A lot of guys can hit the hole. This kid can hit the hole and hit the home run in the passing game. With that said, let's send it back to the guys at Kenan Memorial Stadium.
North Carolina has it back, and the Tar Heels so pleased to send the offense back out. Huge deficit to start this third quarter. They just need to find something to build a little confidence.
Yeah, it hasn't gone well. When you're trailing by this much, this first drive, man, does everything matter and hinge on this? Because every possession in the second half is going to be critical.
Yeah, and I think if you're on offense, why hold back? What are you worried about? Nothing went well in the first half for you, and at this point, trailing by as much as you are, throw caution to the wind, be aggressive, and let's just see what happens.
He leaves it with the back. And you can forget running in the middle against this defense.
How about the defender being a heat-seeking missile? He was on radar lock. He found the football and flew down with some bad intentions.
It's a game of first downs, and they've got one out to their own 37.
This offense has to get this guy the ball in as many ways as possible. He showed you all of his tools on that last play.
The Tar Heels will have it 1st and 10. Out of the gun, the inside handoff, looking for a crease. One-step wrap, two-step squeeze. This junior knows how to get him on the ground.
I never know if it's grammatically correct to say a team is being out-physicaled. You hear it a lot in football, though. That's happening in this game. They are just not getting the push they need all game long up front to have any success when they decide to run it.
They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
That back had absolutely nowhere to run the football. Actually, is he counting? I think he's counting to make sure there's only 11 guys on defense.
They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. Motion trying to get the defense to show its hand. They're trying to get to it. Just threw that one away to avoid disaster. And the Tar Heels will punt it away on 4th down.
That's why it's so important for this defense to win 1st and 2nd down. You set up 3rd and longs like that, you can show your exotic looks, you can get the pass rush going, everybody on the back end expecting throw, and that's how you force incompletions and force 4th downs.
Line gets set, 1st down. The give to the back. Into a mass of giant bodies. We'll call it a 1-yard gain to the 24. Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. He's looking to throw. He's moving out of the pocket. Gets away. That pass is incomplete, and they might be fortunate it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. It'll be 3rd down.
And you get more and more hits on a QB like this right there, more and more making him scramble out of the pocket to the right. That's winning. He's going to start to see ghosts. He'll start to panic. He'll start to speed up that processor. Nice job by the defense making that quarterback feel very, very uncomfortable.
On 3rd down, he drops to throw. And that ball is picked off. He was looking for running room, but they get him down at the 28, and now they are set up. There are few things that can impact the game more than the ability to hit the other team's quarterback, and that was a big play there.
And I love the team defense on this play. One, excellent job getting to the...
And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
When you're on defense and you get to play outside linebacker, it's about as good as it gets, right? I get to rush the passer just like this and put him on the ground. Then I get to cover in space. I get to move all over the place. Great job by the outside linebacker. The most fun position to play in college football.
They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a 1st down.
Listen, in these situations, it's so hard to push the ball down the field because the defense is playing pass. We bring in more DBs. We're dropping deeper in our coverage, and we're making you throw the ball underneath or run the football. Nice job by the running back. Listen, he got good yards. He didn't get the 1st down, but now he's in a situation where 3rd down becomes something where it's not predictable. Now it's a situation where they can go out and have success.
So they'll send out the field goal unit. kick is good. The offense has 3 points to show for the drive. So after putting 3 on the board, the kickoff team is out there ready to boot it away.
North Carolina, 3.
The kickoff bounces through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. Boy, they hope this next drive is more productive after throwing a pick last time, Jesse.
Yeah, and the coaches did a good job of it.
And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18. They come to the line hoping to get some of that yardage back from the 17. They move the tight end all over. On second down, looking to throw. Safe completion on the screen. Knocked off his feet.
This defense is going to have to be careful. Not only do they have to worry about this guy running the football, but they've got to keep their eye on him when he runs routes, too. He is a versatile back.
In the gun, looking to throw on third down. It's complete to the right. Makes the grab, and it's enough for the first down before he's dragged to the ground.
Well, offensive coordinators put in countless hours every week trying to formate and use different personnel groupings and shifts and motions to give their offensive success on third down. You can tell in this game, this offensive coordinator, he has put in the work this week.
And you're going to hear this guy's name a lot. They're going to ride the big fella. He's such a stud. They're going to build the offense around him. This is just game one, but you're going to get a lot of big runs from this cat.
I like this guy as a running back because he can run between the tackles and he can also go outside. He can really do it all.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. From the gun, running back gets the give. Just a solid stop by this sophomore. Ball just inside the 40 at the 39. It's 3rd and short. Quarterback touch pass on the jet sweep. He's out of bounds, but not before picking up enough for the first down.
I love the idea, and I love just finding ways to get your best players out in the open field. This pre-snap motion and using it to their advantage on that last play, I think that was a nice call.
Washington has it and a fresh set of downs. Comes out throwing on first down. Can't hold on. He had it right down the middle, and he flat dropped it.
Well, that's just a great play by the defender and great timing. It was the hit that forced that incompletion.
Quickly complete. Across the 25, he's got room. And he'll go out of bounds, and this aerial attack just continues to carve this defense into tiny slices.
And that's just a great individual effort by the wide receiver. He catches this ball way short of the sticks, but because he's able to make the defender miss, now he's able to get the extra yards and turn that into an explosive play.
Looking to the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. And the beatdown has ensued.
Well, this offense said they wanted to start the year all gas and no brakes, and that's exactly what this game has shown. From the very opening whistle, this offense has been in sync. They've been explosive. Defense has had no answer for them. This unit is going to give teams problems because of their playmaking ability all year long.
Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The North Carolina offense returns to the field. Jesse, they had to kick a field goal the last time they had it.
Yeah, and oftentimes early in games, you're just trying to find your rhythm. Some things work, some don't on that first drive, David. It'd be interesting to see what happens here in the second drive.
Yeah, you got a feel for the defense now. You understand what they're trying to do, what their game plan is. Now you get to go into phase 2 of your game plan.
The incompletion brings up a second down. He's looking to throw. Fires to the wideout. Makes the grab. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the first down. A new set of downs after the completion. Off the play fake on first down to throw. With the catch, it's Gore. Tackled immediately after the catch. Line getting set on second down. They'll run it from the gun. Smashes through. Good job running tough and behind his pads as he gets up to the 38-yard line. Wow, this offense is doing nothing. They've already punted 4 times and staring at the possibility of a 5th. They'll try to drive ahead on 3rd and short. And he's brought to the ground, but not before he gets enough for the first down. Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. They'll throw it on first down. Makes the grab along the sidelines, but it'll be a little short of the first down. That's the end of the quarter, and Washington has the lead. This has been a complete obliteration so far, as the third quarter stats will show you. So will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the fourth. Second down here as they go back to work after the break. He's looking to throw. He makes the connection. Tackled immediately after the catch.
This offense has their work cut out for them, man, because the coverage has been so tight. And if you're not throwing to the sideline or you're not getting past the sticks, this defense is going to tackle you inbounds like they just did on that last play and bleed the clock.
And it slips through his feet. Complete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on.
Well, that incompletion really tells the story of this football game. If you don't score touchdowns, it's really hard to win games. They haven't found themselves in the end zone at all in this game. Throwing it, running it, they have been completely dominated.
You're not getting him on the ground, still on his feet. Defense needs to regroup as he gets it down to the 26. Went to the running game to convert that fourth down. They might go right back to it here. Looking to move it through the air. On target. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. Here comes the offense on second down. Off play action. He'll take a shot. And that one falls incomplete, trying to get a chunk play on that one.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback and this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops. Just not in sync, and that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
They didn't quite get that route run deep enough to pick up the first down. Now they've got a 4th and short.
And I think everybody at home tends to yell at their television set. Why aren't you getting past the first down marker? Why did you run your route short? Defense did a good job knowing where that was. But now, 4th down, offense has to make a decision.
Makes the grab well past the sticks. Well, they just drained all of the suspense out of the 4th down conversion, moving the chains easily.
The offense has struggled. They're not going to win this game, but trust me, this coaching staff is still trying to find things to build off of for next week. And after an explosive play like that, maybe they can generate just a little bit of...
Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Tar Heel.
With that last touchdown now, they're trying to create some momentum. They're trying to avoid starting the season 0-1. They know they've got a lot of work to do here in the second half, but you should be feeling pretty good about that last score. Now you've got to keep that up.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown.
North Carolina, 10.
That one bounds through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. They unleashed an aerial assault last time that took them right to the end zone, David.
So, Reese, with that drive, I think you've accomplished something you wanted to accomplish. make this defense think, put them back on their heels. Now, shoot, Palmer, you might be able to slip a few runs in on this drive to really jack them up.
Yeah, I like that idea, but I also like the fact that speed kills. They've got it at the receiver position, so if you've got one-on-one matchups, man, take advantage.
Dropping back, it's Flores. And he can't make the connection on his first attempt. Let's see if he settles down.
That's how you blow up the screen pass here on defense. You got to hit the quarterback fast and force the incompletion.
Probably the toughest call on the play sheet. 3rd and long. Ball's at the 25. From the gun, wants to pass. It's complete. And sure, tackling there to keep him from getting to the first down marker. Washington trying to convert this 4th down. Try to get it on the ground. He will not get there. They'll turn it over on downs, and that leaves the door open. A great spot to start this drive for the offense. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. Excellent field position here for the offense. Going up top on first down. Just can't pull the trigger, and the quarterback is sacked at the 41. That offense having to deal with the last thing you want on first down, giving up a sack as they come up to the line on 2nd down. Not much of a chance there. He just had to get rid of it to avoid the sack. I'm not positive, but that first down marker might be in the next county. On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. Open space at the 25. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with the first down. The Tar Heels come to the line with a new set of downs. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. They'll give him maybe one on the play. It's down to the 20. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Brought down after a pickup of 2 to the 19. 3rd down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. From the gun, wants to pass. Receiver looks it in, it's complete. They bring him down, but he's got a 1st and goal from the 10. And the Tar Heels are marching down the field. He'll come out throwing on first down. Touchdown, North Carolina! Made the grab and finished the deal in the end zone.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, gets you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. That 4th down gamble didn't pay off on the last drive, and it led to giving up a scoring drive, David.
Yeah, and everybody wants to go for it on 4th down. Everybody wants that, but your defense sometimes has to bail out your decision-making. We decided to go for it, we didn't get it. The defense, Jesse, didn't come up big and prove me right.
Yeah, not complimentary football, no doubt. But look, this offense has been in these situations before, so you got to come back out here, take the field. It's a fresh set of downs, brand new drive. Let's go out and execute with some points on the board.
Ball just inside the 40 at the 39. It's 3rd and short. Looking to throw for it. Quick completion on the out. He steps out of bounds, but he's got a first down on the play. And now a fresh set of downs for this offense. Looking to throw, it's Flores. He's going to take off.
Welcome to the frustrating reality of college football. Like, the guy at the quarterback spot, he can just do that. Pull it down, get positive yards, makes the defense have to account for him every single play.
On 2nd down, he'll let it fly. The freshman able to get home with the sack. And the offense sprung a big-time leak, and the quarterback went down.
And when you're throwing the football, you're trying to stop the best athletes in the world from getting to your quarterback. They're going to get there, they're pinning their ears back, get to the QB, get the sack.
Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again.
And this offense has had a great day, and they've put some big plays together. But the last two plays, man, getting a little complacent. They got to protect their quarterback. That's back-to-back sacks. The offensive line has to do a better job.
Man, they can barely see the first down marker from there, but they'll go for it on fourth. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Incomplete, and the defense holds.
You know, there are a lot of people watching this game that are thinking to themselves, where's the sportsmanship? You're blowing this team out. Why are you going for it on fourth down? Why not just punt, give it back, and just leave here with a double? That's because this coach...
The expressway is wide open. And he found all kinds of room and got it down to the 28. The offense uses a timeout to stop the clock, and they'll get a quick breather. Looking to go up top on first down. Fires to the big fella. And he goes out of bounds after coming up with positive yardage there.
Nice right there by the tight end, making it real easy for his quarterback to find an easy completion.
A little bit more to go after that last completion. They'll try to pick it up on second down. Caught. Dances away again. He gets it all the way down to the 5-yard line. A terrific catch and run before he stopped. The offense will quickly use a timeout. The Tar Heels will try to put one on the board on first and goal. Pre-snap motion in the backfield. Looking to throw it again. And here's the third interception of the night. He's at the 50, the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Huskies. How about that D coming up with a play like that? What a play by this defense with a pick six.
And how about the defender? Exactly what you're supposed to do. Breaks on the football, makes the interception. Everybody on defense, we turn to offense. Go lay some blocks so my guy can get it and take it back to the house.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. And he'll be brought down after a solid effort on that return. North Carolina has it back, and the Tar Heels so pleased to send the offense back out. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you...
Hit the afterburners, kid! And they were looking for a chunk play, and they got it. The explosive picks up more than 30. They say it's still a game of field position, and that last one just flipped this, baby. They've got it 1st and 10 in the red zone. He's got it! Touchdown, you...
And a nice touchdown, continuing to fight, continuing to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take...
He's looking, pressure's coming in, the pressure gets there, and down he goes, and they won't be able to cut into this lead. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. And he takes this from inside the 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. Final minute, this game's on ice. They can take a knee and run out the clock.
This offense has to feel great with how they're able to go out, execute, and perform big plays all game long. I think it's sending a statement, too, to future defenses down the road on the schedule. They're going to be tough to contend with.
Yeah, I mean, they got firepower, putting up so many points. This thing is easily over. Now they can just chillax, go back to the locker room, know they're going to get the victory.
A strike downfield. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense.
at the 44. And that's a first down for the offense.
He wants to throw. Unloads to the wideout. Fires the pass. Intercepted. No room to return, but no problem after making a play like that, and they'll have it at the 25. Here comes the offense on first down. He's going to pass. Fires to the tight end. And they're getting it rolling with that play to the 42-yard line. Timeout on the field and 4 ticks left to go. And here we go. Final play of the game right here. To the air on first down. Deep shot for the end zone. And the pass is incomplete. They were going for the fabulous parting gift, but instead will just go home with a loss. A little sports history, David. Upset is the only horse ever to